I offered a drink to a girl in a bar and didn't pay for it. So I'm 23, and a few months back I was at this downtown bar with my buddies on a Friday night. I saw this gorgeous girl across the room and figured I'd shoot my shot. We started talking and she was actually cool, laughing at my jokes. After 20 minutes I said, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" She smiled big and said, "Yeah, sure." We walked to the bar and I flagged down the bartender. I said, "Can I get a beer and whatever she wants?" She looked at the bartender and went, "Can I get 4 double shots of Don Julio?" I froze because each double shot at this place is like $75. That's $300 plus tip. She patted me on the back and said, "Oh, these are for my friends over there." She pointed to 3 girls at a table who were watching us and grinning. I stared at her. She just shrugged and said, "Well, you offered to buy me a drink." The bartender came back with the shots on a tray. I pulled out a $10 bill, slapped it on the bar, and told him she's covering the rest. Then I walked away. She started yelling that I was cheap and a jerk, but I kept walking. My friends were dying laughing when I told them. We left 10 minutes later because I didn't want her friends starting something. 2 weeks ago, my mom called sounding weird. She said I need to talk to you about something from work. My mom works in marketing at this company downtown. She was having lunch with coworkers when a newer employee told a story about some jerk at a bar who offered to buy her a drink, then bailed on paying. My mom thought it was funny and asked for details. The girl described everything, including what I was wearing that night. My mom pulled out her phone to show birthday pictures from last month. The girl saw my face and gasped. She said, "That's him. That's the guy." My mom called me immediately and she was furious. She said I embarrassed her at work and this girl thinks I'm horrible and now all her coworkers are talking about it. I explained the girl tried to scam me for $300, but my mom didn't care. She said I should have paid to be polite. Then she told me to Venmo the girl the money. I laughed and said absolutely not. My mom said the girl is telling everyone I'm cheap and she agrees. I said, "Mom, she tried to use me as a free ATM for 4 random people." My mom hung up on me. We didn't talk for 3 days. Last week I started a new job at a tech company. First day my manager took me on an office tour. We went to the marketing floor to meet the team we'd be working with, and there she was, the girl from the bar. Her name's Jade and she works 2 floors down from me. When she saw me, her face went completely red. My manager didn't notice and kept doing introductions. I shook her hand and acted normal. An hour later, Jade showed up at my desk. She asked if we could talk outside. We went to the parking lot. She immediately apologized and said she felt terrible about the bar thing, and worse, that she complained to my mom without knowing who I was. She said she and her friends test guys at bars to see who's actually decent versus who just shows off with money. I said okay, but you basically tried to steal $300 from me. She got defensive and said I offered, but then stopped and admitted it was messed up. She said most guys either paid for everything without question, which was a red flag because it meant they thought money could buy anything, or they got aggressive and mean. I was the first person who calmly refused and walked away without making a scene or calling her names. She said it made her rethink whether the test was fair. She asked if we could start over since we're working together. I said sure. She offered to buy me lunch to make up for it. I said okay, but only if it's not 4 double shots of tequila. She laughed. We got lunch that day. She explained she'd dated controlling guys who used money to manipulate her, so her friends came up with this filtering system. I said I got it, but maybe just talk to people normally instead of setting traps. She agreed and said she'd already told her friends to stop. We've become actual friends now.